So this is my review of Doppelganger Spiderman. And this figure really jumped out at me because it looks like a cross between regular Spidey and Venom. So, and it says on the back, an evil, mindless duplicate of Spider-Man infused with supernatural energy by the Demi-Goblin, the six-armed doppelganger has deadly claws and can shoot razor-sharp webbing. So, that is really cool. And he comes with a Build-A-Figure part for Molten Man. And that's this. And Molten Man has pieces of molten metal inside of him. So, that looks like it would actually be a really cool Build-A-Figure too. So I want to look at it with my Spider-Man figure and with this Venom figure that I've never opened this this limited edition Venom action figure, number 553 of 5,000, because I do have Venom on Blu-ray, so I never really downloaded the code, but I still liked the idea of the figure, even if it's just kind of a basic figure. It's still kind of a cool idea. And it's got that scene from the movie on it and everything. But let's focus on this. Slid him out of the package, and he has a really cool Spider-Man themed backdrop behind him that if you did want to just display him, you could work this up and make a cool backdrop, I think. First, let's take out the Molten Man part, and this gives you sort of a sneak peek of what you could expect if you get this whole figure built. And it's really cool because he's got like pieces of molten steel that's glowing from the heat stuck in him, and you can see the other molten steel that's sort of already like liquefied in him. I think this would be a very cool figure to finish. In terms of my 6-inch figures, I've only finished one Build-A-Figure so far, and that's for DC. I built Killer Croc. And I was a little disappointed because the DC Multiverse figures are just not as good as the Marvel Legends. And the Build-A-Figure was cheap, and it wasn't made of the same plastic, and it didn't have the same quality as the Suicide Squad figures that you had to collect to build. So you ended up with a very less than standard figure. But you can feel this piece and know that you're going to come out of this with a good figure. This is good plastic. Now, there's a lot of arms to pop out. Wow. Look at this guy. It is a crazy evil Spider-Man with a Venom mouth. You can put him in some seriously good poses. He has kind of a fist, sort of a fist, but kind of a web slinging hand here, and kind of a weird claw here. Then a claw and another sort of fist. Then another sort of claw and another sort of fist, and and then on his feet he has kind of like bird hawk feet, raptor feet or something, and then all put together, you know, he has 8 appendages like a spider, so it is almost like a spider. His outfit is very much like Spider-Man's, just slightly different. This is Tom Holland from uh, Avengers Civil or Captain America Civil War. That Spider-Man with that second suit he had, and it's a great figure. He has this articulation here, like the pectoral muscles, a web slinging hand here, a fist here. So if they went head to head, it reminds me a lot of Venom, but the four appendages are cool, and you can really put them in a lot of different configurations here. The joints are nice and tight. Look at that face. A face only a mother could love. Very, very similar to Venom. Without the tongue. And you could put them head to head with some of these other Marvel Legends figures. This is one of my favorites. He really needs that face shield. Kind of a terrifying figure in a way. And it's just like a confusion mass of Spider-Man. If they're fighting together, you'd say he is here to help. And he's trying to shoot Doppelganger Spiderman, but he can't tell which part is which as they are furiously fighting. I always kind of like to pull all the my favorite Marvel Legend figures out when I'm looking at one, just to see how they look together. Like this beautiful Mystique figure, one of my favorites. Very, very nice figure. I guess I should go over Articulation real quick. He has a ball jointed head that has a lot of range of motion. Ball hinge shoulders, shoulders again, and more shoulders. Then he has double jointed. Well, yeah, I guess it's just a click jointed in the elbows, but offers a great tight range of motion. Then he has pegs in his hips. Then he has swivel cut joints in the upper thigh, the same elbow joints in the knees, and he has these ball swivel ankles to pose him. And he's gonna be a little bit harder to pose. He's gonna be like, kind of reminds me of General Grievous in a lot of ways. He has the same sort of feet as General Grievous, and he has all of the extra arms like General Grievous. And if you have a deluxe General Grievous action figure, he is a hard one to pose. But that is a creepy pose too. If I could get him in that pose, Watching this video should show you how absolutely amazing these Marvel Legends figures are. I mean, these are just fantastically made. When they make the obscure characters particularly, it's just amazing to see the creativity and the detail that goes into all of these. One problem, well, not really a problem, but one thing is he doesn't have any articulation in the waist or the chest. He can only get, like, he can crouch down in this position, but that's not like a deal breaker for what you're getting. This is just a cool, creepy figure, and he looks great. He looks spider-like. He looks wrong. It's sort of the uncanny valley, and that's the good thing about the figure. Unlike these great figures that can get in these awesome poses. Or Black Bolt, another one of my favorites. A very useful figure if you play Lego Marvel Avengers 2. Black Bolt, it can fly, he can break glass, he can shoot things. He's actually a really useful character. Kind of reminds me of Mr. Furious from Mystery Men. Of course, Morbius, classic Marvel figure that's going to be a movie with Jared Leto, I guess. Can get in some really cool poses. Dazzler is one of my, I like this character, and I also like the fact that in the otherwise not so good movie, what was it called? Dark Phoenix. She was played by the actress who's on The Orville, who plays the super powered or super strong security chief. And that was a pretty good pick for the Dazzler. Another one of my favorite. I like the roller skates a lot. And she has her microphone and her dazzle effect. So I have a feeling that this character we haven't seen the last of her in pop culture. Especially when she's such a 70s specific character, I think that we will be getting a comeback of the Dazzler. Marvel Legends never cease to amaze me at how well thought out and executed these figures are. For the poses you can get them into, and just the realistic quality of them, and the really great level of articulation. I really do like that joint right there. I haven't seen it in too many of these figures, but That works really well. That gets such a great range of motion, especially if you want to have a Spider-Man in a lot of different poses. I still have the Norman Osborn figure from the first Peter Parker Spider-Man that's pretty much in the same scale. I like it a lot because it looks so much like Willem Dafoe. They even have his I mean, the wrinkles in his face, everything, it just looks like Willem Dafoe. And it's one of my all-time favorite action figures. And he sits, of course, in his chair. Very, very cool figure. One of my all-time favorites. He has kind of a click in his joints. But Black Bolt is a really, really cool figure. This is the only Black Bolt I ever saw. I bought him and I've never seen one since, so I wonder if this is kind of a rare figure. I really do like how the inside of his mouth is blue instead of red. I guess that's from the electricity that he's shooting out. And let's take a moment to admire the face sculpts of these figures. That is really good. The detail, the eyelets, the teeth. You can see Dazzler's earrings. I am sorry about the sound of the cars outside the window. Unfortunately, unless I build a sound stage, there's not very much I can do about that. I am sort of limited by the where I live, and there are pickup trucks that drive around here, so there's nothing I can do about that. But I have heard that some people actually like that sound because it gives them a sense that they're actually organically hanging out with somebody. I'm not much of the. I'm old school. I don't have the double microphone or the expensive things a lot of people on YouTube have invested in, because I just think that some people enjoy and relax just by watching something that is not intentional ASMR, something that is just an action, something that is just something somebody's doing. That's how I've always gotten that effect myself, is by watching someone unintentionally doing something, like showing me something. That's why I have tried to create a playlist of unintentional actions that are not the classic, here we go again with 1,000 different triggers, tapping and brushing and all of that stuff that there's possibly millions of videos now on YouTube, and I want to do something old school and simple that is not so sophisticated, because I think the more sophisticated we get, the farther we get away from the actual people who really do have the phenomenon known as ASMR. And a lot of cases, now I really do hate that car. There is a couple cars that drove down this road that really I would love to, you know, remove their engine in the middle of the night. But like I was saying, a lot of the people who really do indeed watch ASMR for the effect and not watch it for the, well, in some cases, pseudo porn that it is on some channels, or the other things. Some people really do actually get something out of the action of watching and listening to someone do a mundane task that is unintentional, and it's not done in a deliberate, here's some triggers, everybody. You can't force ASMR to happen. It happens or it doesn't happen. And that's coming from someone who really has it. And a lot of people just don't have it. And a lot of people have exploited it to the point where it's just kind of ridiculous. But, I mean, and that's my little mini rant about the whole thing. And a little bit of an explanation as to why some of my videos are ASMR and some of them are just what I call unintentional, because this is a video that I could normally do just showing action figures and talking about them, or I might do or flip through a magazine and tell stories. But that was something I liked to do a long time before ASMR. So if you get ASMR out of it, great. If you don't, maybe you still enjoy the video, and some people do. So I've had people ask about that, or they don't think that it's truly unintentional because I'm not a guy whittling outside and someone, you know, holding a phone up to me. But I am a guy who's just doing videos that are what I deem as random activities that would be in another video that wouldn't be ASMR per se. So I've tried to explain that a little bit. But I do appreciate those of you who've subscribed and continue to watch and support my channel. I make these videos for you. I know I can't please everybody, and I can't make content that everybody wants. But I have found a group of people that are special to me that do like what I do. And I continue to make these videos for you in this old school sort of way. And I don't plan on changing that. I don't want to make this channel a blockbuster that is going to try to appease or appeal to mass amounts of people. I prefer the interesting group of subscribers I do have, and the viewers who are here with me are a great group of people who have a lot of the same interests I do. And that's fine with me. This is channel something fun for me to do, and a lot of people enjoy it. That's all I want. Nothing crazy. Nothing. I'm not gonna make crazy thumbnails or I'm not going to buy expensive microphones or some of this stuff I just think is kind of silly. And I don't think it's really ASMR. Some of it is just something else. I do like this action figure a lot. I didn't look at the wrist. Yeah, all the wrists have a swivel too. That's amazing articulation. Like he could grab and hold something. That is really amazing. This figure is worth every penny, I have to say. I'm putting them all back up now. And this was it. This was Doppelganger Spiderman, and sort of a cross between Spider-Man and Venom, and General Grievous. So an interesting figure, and I really hope you enjoyed my review and how it holds up against other Marvel Legends figures. Alright, so I hope you enjoyed the video. Please click the bell icon, rate, comment, and subscribe, and I will be back. Bye.